how to scale your business with technology. So before I start, I want to kind of get to know a little of you. So people on Zoom, I want this to be interactive. I've been given about an hour to speak, but honestly, my slide deck is about 35 minutes. And I want this to be a conversation. I don't want this to be where it's a death by PowerPoint and I'm just boring you. So please, I want everybody raise your hand. You're going to let me know your questions and let's have a conversation and not just me presenting. So first, we're going to start with an elevator pitch. So by show of hands, who knows what an elevator pitch is? All right. So what we're going to do is I want to know a little about you and what you do. So please first, this young lady here, give me a 30-second elevator pitch. Yep, come into the mic right now. I want to know who my audience is and what you do. And yep, you're going to come, you're going to go into the mic. And please let us know an elevator pitch consists of, and the idea of the elevator pitch is if you want the elevator, you have 30 seconds to talk to someone about who you are, what you do, and the person that you want to meet. That's what the elevator pitch is. So you got 30 seconds, go.
30 seconds. Okay. My name is Naya Jasmine Desiree, and I am the marketing, communication and outreach manager at HackUp, and especially for the business incubator Skill Up 305, where we are here. And our goal is to provide business support to small businesses, such as training, one-on-one coaching, and networking opportunities.
Awesome.
Thank you
so much. And I see a young man right here, Mr. Peterson, I believe your name is. You want to step into the mic? Tell us a little about who you are, what you do, and who you want to meet. And if we have anybody on Zoom after this that wants to talk, please go ahead and let's raise your hand as well.
Sorry. My name is Peterson Simon. I am the marketing communication specialist for the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce of Florida. We here at HackUp strive to help the community in an effort to help small businesses within the Haitian community succeed economically and to help members of the community reach greater heights within their business and within their networking.
Awesome. Thank you. So there's always a saying, closed mouths don't get fed. Always have your elevator pitch ready because you never know who's in the room, who maybe needs to do business. Maybe you're a florist, maybe you do construction, and I'm looking for someone for flowers, for a flower arrangement because Christmas is coming. Or maybe I'm looking to redo my bathroom. So closed mouths don't get fed. So always make sure that you have your elevator pitch ready. Do we have anybody on Zoom that wants to come off camera and give their 30-second elevator pitch?
Yes, on Zoom, we are going to ask you who would like to talk on Zoom. You can raise your hand and let us know. Our audience today is mostly on Zoom, so we really encourage you to raise your hand so you can participate with us. Anyone would like to present themselves?
All right, so just remember, closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't speak up, how will I know? I have a business. We do about $800,000 that we spend in the local community. How will I know you if you don't speak up? So next thing we're going to do, now that I have been able to know who you are, I'm going to give you guys a little information about me. So I used to work at a store called CompUSA. Peterson, do you remember CompUSA? I know you're the tech guy.
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So I used to work at CompUSA, and the way I got started in technology is that one day this guy comes in and he buys shopping cart after shopping cart after shopping cart full of items. And at the end of the sale, he said, "Andre, I have no idea how to set this up. Can you set this up for me?" And at the time, I was doing work for like side work for my friends and family, doing, setting up their computers and upgrading the memory to make things go faster. And I said, sure, I can come to your house on a Saturday. He gave me his address and says, all right, here's my address. Come on a Saturday and help me set up everything I just purchased from you. So here it comes, Saturday morning. I put his address on the GPS and it said south of 5th in Miami Beach. Has anybody here ever been south of 5th in Miami Beach? No.
No.
All right. So that is the cream of the crop in Miami Beach. So I grew up in Miami Gardens. And my mom is first generation Haitian American. She came to this country with little English at 28 years old. And we grew up for the most part in Miami Gardens. My mom had never taken me to Miami Beach. So here I am, 21 years old, for the first time leaving the city of Miami Gardens and going on the I-95 as we cross here right now, I-95 right across from us. And here I am going into this new area that I have never seen. Palm trees, the yachts, you know, the MacArthur Causeway where all the cruise ships, the boats, the girls. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have never seen this before. So I go into his unit. He's on the 17th floor overlooking the entire area of Miami Beach. I set up his computers and I set up his Wi-Fi, his TV, and he's so ecstatic because everything is set up in his house and it's working. One of his friends comes in and says, wow, who set out this for you? It's like, Andre did. It's like, can you come to my house? So I went to his house the following week. In the next 6 months, this guy from New York that I met at CompUSA is sending me all of his friends to set up their computers. And one day he calls me, he says, Andre, I know you're going to school to become an English teacher, and I know you're working at CompUSA, but I want to start a business with you. Whatever you're making at CompUSA, I'm going to double it, and let's start a business. Slow down on school, let's start a business. So I went to my mom. Remember, my mom she just moved into this country. She doesn't know too much about business. But when I told her the opportunity that I had and how this guy wanted to take me under his wing, my mom said, and you know, Haitians, right? They say, you know, Reggie, right? She was like, wow, this is the American dream. This is why I came to the United States for you to have this opportunity. And she said, take it. She still wanted me to go to school because every Haitian mother wants you to go to school. But she said, hey, slow down on the school, but go ahead and take this opportunity with this guy. Okay, so I'll get right there. So 9 years later, we are the top IT company in South Beach. Everybody knows us. We have over $1 million in sales. We have about 10 staff members, and things are great. So I go to my boss one day, this is now in 2009, and I said, boss, you know, things are great. My email address says managing partner, my business card says vice president, but there's nothing actually in writing that says that we're business partners. He said, you know, that's a good point you're making. Give me a couple of months. I'll have the attorney draft something. So a couple of months later comes by and he asked me to come into his office. And as I go into his office, he says, Andre, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to let you go. What do you mean let me go? I'm the vice president of this company. I helped build this company. Yes, you put in a lot of money, but I built the company with you. How can you let me go after 9 years? What did I do? I'm sorry, but there's the door. I couldn't believe it. Here I am. I have a son at home, 2 years old. I have a mortgage. And this is 2009. This is kind of like the rock and roll days where you were just spending money. I had $100 to my name. He didn't even give me my last check. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I remember the quote from Rocky, the movie, that said, it's not how hard you get hit, it's how you get back up. And I said to myself, you know what, I can do this. Yes, I had a non-compete, so I couldn't, you know, go after the customers and things like that. But I said, I can do this. I was the one running the business. I can do it. And that's exactly what I did. Fast forward 13 years till today, December, when I started Arc Solvers, we have been voted the fastest growing company 3 years in a row. Haitian American Chamber of Commerce just recognized me for one of the honorees for 40 under 40. South Florida Business Journal recognized me as well, 40 under 40. So this is for me to tell you, no matter what has happened in your life, whatever circumstances you have happened in your life, it doesn't matter, get back up. So now that you know a little about me, I believe we had someone from the audience. Like I said, I want this to be interactive. I don't want to be talking to myself. So please go ahead and ask the question.
So I think that is Michael, who wanted to talk.
They say they could give an elevator pitch.
Okay.
Yes. You can go, Mikael.
Hi, good evening. My name is Mikael. I'm doing the 30-second pitch. My name is Mikael. I'm a nursepreneur. I am a nurse that owns a medical scrub wear business. It is customized. It is not only for nurses, but for the healthcare professionals. That is all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mikael, for sharing your story. And if anybody else came in late and you want to give your elevator commercial, this is the time to do it, because you never know who I know, you never know who else the audience members know, and maybe they side chat you and say, oh my gosh, I needed this, or my friend needed this. So our goal today is to talk about how to scale your business with technology. And the first point that I want to give you is you have to have a story. So no matter what you do, your job is to tell your story, because the story is how you're going to relate. Mikael, you mentioned that you do nursing scrubs and things like that. People can buy that from anybody, right? You can buy it online, you can buy it from down the street, whatever the case is, but always tell your story and why you're a differentiator or why someone should do business with you. So we're going to talk about a few things with technology. I'm going to, because this video is going to be recorded, I'm going to go a little basic, but I'm not going to go I'm not going to go in depth about it, but I just want to be sure that you understand the concepts and why you should have it. Oh, okay, you're welcome. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about a website. So Mikael, can you put in the chat, do you have a website? And if you do have a website, can you put it in the chat? So Joe, you're here in the audience. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a website? All right. Joe, you don't have a website. Okay. So what is the name of your business? Shelves USA. Okay. So Joe, the reason why I think you should have a website is because in 2 months from now, in 6 months from now, someone can decide that they want to have the same company name as you, and they want to have the same, or at least have the same website name as you. And the reason why you should have a website is because that way, in 2 years from now, 6 months from now, or whatever you're ready for that website, you want to be able to actually own that domain, because that domain only will cost you about $15 a year. So what you can do is you can simply go on, there's plenty of websites, GoDaddy's probably one of the biggest ones. And what you can do is you can actually reserve your domain. And when you reserve your domain, and whenever you're ready to do a website, you can go ahead and do that. I believe we have somebody from Zoom.
Yes. So we have like the name of the website for Mikael, which is www.classyacute.medwear.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for participating.
Does anyone else want to put their website? They can just put it on the chat.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for participating. So we want to make sure that you have a website, because in order to scale your business, people have to find you. People want to be able to search, and if they're searching for shelves for kitchen shelves and those type of things, they need to be able to find you. If you don't have a website, they're not going to be able to find you. Now, let's just say, for example, your budget is not there yet and you're not ready for a website. But what you do want to do is you want to post on social media. Mikael, let me ask you, since you're participating with us, you can just say yes or no in the chat. Do you have social media? We're talking about Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Yelp, Google+, TikTok. Do you post your business? If you, for example, you just made a sale and you have some nice garments and things like that that you're selling with somebody, are you posting that on your social media? Okay, perfect. Awesome. That's great that you're doing that. So for those of you that are not doing that, social media is free. There should really be no reason right now, if you're a barber, if you are construction, if you are a hairstylist, whatever it is that you do, you want to be sure that when you're done with that customer, you get permission and you start to create that catalog of photos, catalog of videos, so that you can start posting it on social media, because people buy from people that they know. And that's why it's so important that you put this, and it's a free tool. All of this is free for business. So one thing I follow in my business is a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V. And he has something that's called jab, 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 right hook. Now, the thing with when you're posting online about your business, like I mix my personal Facebook with my business, but I don't always want to be on social media, and you don't want to always be on social media just talking about your business. Oh, look at me, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. Because if every single time you post buy from me, people are going to start to unfollow you, unsubscribe from you. So what you want to do is you want to give information. So Joe, you have a carpentry business and you're making kitchen shelves and bathroom shelves. You want to display and talk to people why they should have this version of wood versus this version of another formica or marble. You want to educate customers. You want to give information so that when they're ready to buy, you're going to be on their mind, because there's so much noise right now on social media, and you want to be the person that they think of when it's time for them to buy. So give, and one time for every 3 posts that you give information, 1 post will be to ask for the sell. Another thing that I want to talk about as you want to scale your business is that you want to have a professional email. In my, I'm also a board of my HOA. So if anybody's ever a board of their HOA where they live, if you're considering it, don't do it, because it's just volunteer work, and it's just, everybody's going to hate you at the end. So you can never please everybody. But one thing that we had to do a couple of months ago was to hire a new landscaping company. And we had, we did a walkthrough with them, and they gave us our proposals and things like that. And one thing at the end is we got the email, and I'm looking at their letterhead and seeing the different quotes. One guy had John Smith at yahoo.com. I'm just making it up, but he had a Yahoo email. The other person had treeexperts.com. How much more professional did it look? And for me to look at and say, wow, look at this. This guy has an email address. He has a website. He has a domain. He is so much more professional, rather than the guy with the Gmail or the Yahoo or the AOL. It kind of looks a little Mickey Mouse, to tell you the truth. So you want to make sure that you have a professional email service, and you can use something like Office 365. You can use something like Google, and it's only like $60 a year. So always consider getting a professional email. Right? We have a question from the audience. Go ahead.
Yes. So what is your thoughts on these custom domains such as .blog, .org,
.miami,
.miami, .portfolio?
Because company names, obviously with a website and a domain. So the question is, what are the thoughts about these different domain types? Because right now what's happening is the .com is filling up, right? If you wanted to say Joe's Shelving Company, most likely someone in Ohio may have that name already. And what you want to do is you want to have your website synonymous with the company name. You don't want to have a company called Joe's Shelving Company, but then the website is joecvs.com, because that name was already there. So I think in those scenarios, it makes sense. There is a domain called .miami if you're local and you only plan on doing Miami. .net also. So I'm not opposed to it. And the reason is just because we ran out of domain names. And that's why it's so important. As soon as you get your domain, your company name, you want to go on GoDaddy or a domain hosting service, and you want to be able to secure that name. So that way someone doesn't take it later, because there's actually people that will buy names. Like, for example, when COVID came out, people were buying COVID-19.miami, COVID-19.org. Why? Because now someone who had a legit COVID business and says, you know what, I want that domain. They were selling it for $5,000, $10,000, and people were buying it. It's actually a business for that, where people buy domains and then now they wait and just sit on it because it only costs $15 a year. And then someone is interested and now they made a ton of money. So thank you for the question. So next, we're going to talk about sales and payment. Again, our goal is, how are we going to scale the company? We've already talked about websites to make sure that you're in social media. That's one way of scaling your company. And another way is to have professional emails, because you want your business to look legit. The next thing we're going to talk about is sales and payment and tracking inventory. So Joe, you mentioned that you had shelving. So I imagine you have inventory, right? All right, perfect. So you can have desks, you can have chairs, you can have handles. You have all types of things. And that's so important that you have a tracking software, because what you don't want is possibly an employee stealing. You may then also have where it's just mismanagement, where you go to a job site, you leave with five different items from the store or from the shop. And then when they go to the customer, maybe all five wasn't used and one should go back. So when you have inventory in a tracking software, it's going to be so much better. So welcome. We have someone here that's your name, please. I'm sorry.
Nicole Brown.
Nicole. Okay, so we are just going over this, and we are talking about making sure you are able to tell your story, scaling your business. So if you want to do a 30-second elevator pitch for us. So, yep, right now. So you're going to talk about who you are, 20 to 30 seconds, what you do, and what type of business are you looking at?
Okay,
Or who do you want to meet
who I want to meet?
Yeah.
In the organization?
for your business?
Okay.
What's your ideal client?
Okay, all right. Hi, my name is Nicole Bronson. I'm the owner of Anointed Florist Gift Shop. I've been in business for 14 years. I've been in the floor industry for 36 years.
Okay.
And my ideal company is one that will pay attention to my craft, the quality of my work,
Mhm.
and that will love to be happy with my flowers.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming, and you're going to be picked on a few times, but it's all going to be for love, okay?
No problem.
All right, so we first talked about tracking inventory. I'm sure that's very important in your business. Basically, you track your inventory and make sure that things aren't leaving accidentally, and then your flowers don't have feet and things like that, right? Next, we want to talk about collecting payments. In order to scale your business, you are not a bank. You cannot be doing services for clients, especially clients that are just buying one time and then having terms and saying, okay, I'll pay you later. That doesn't fly anymore. Secondly, you want to be sure that if you have clients where they're maybe ordering, for example, Nicole, flowers every month from you because it's a hotel and they're ordering bouquets, or a funeral home that's ordering, you want to set them up on ACH payment. You want to have an agreement with them and say, look, if you're going to be buying from me, I want to set it up where I automatically take the money from your account after you approve it. Because if you would ACH, the fees are much cheaper than a credit card. Credit card is usually about 4% versus ACH, which is about only, I think it's like 50 cents. So think if you have a $100 sale, 4% rather than 50 cents. Another thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have an option for the customers to be able to pay you right there. I remember when I was starting my business, it was so funny because I would go to a client's location, I would fix their computers, and then I would run back to the office, go on QuickBooks, and then send them the bill, and then have to wait 7 days. That's crazy, right? So what you want to do is after you do your deliveries, you want to already have the invoice there. You want to have a little square. They sell them, it's $10 at Walgreens. They take the 4%, and you want to have the customer be able to swipe right away. And this is anytime you have any questions, feel free to ask as well. All right. Next is you don't want to be a cash only business. I'm not going to say his name, but anybody, because I don't know if he's a sponsor or he helped build this whole building. So I'm not going to talk bad about anybody, but there's a guy, he has a great restaurant in Pembroke Pines. He's a Haitian restaurant, and he only takes cash. That's not convenient. We wanted to do a party, my wife and I, for New Year's. And I remember going, and we probably spent $300. And when he told me that, hey, all your Haitian food and pickles and all of that stuff is ready, but then he told me cash only. I don't take credit cards. I don't take Zelle. I don't take anything. I was on the crunch. I was already late. Now here I am in Pembroke Park where there's no banks. Now I got to go on the other side of town to go to an ATM, get the money out, and then have to pay him. I never did business with him again because it's inconvenient. Same thing with my landscaper. I had a great landscaper. He would charge me $50, but he wanted cash every time. I don't carry cash that much. Now I got to go to the bank, take $60, but I don't really want to give him a $10 tip. So now I got to find somewhere to break the 10. Like, it's just inconvenient. At this stage of the game, there's Zelle, there's Cash App, there's so many different ways that you should be able to take business. And if sometimes you think, oh, I just want cash because, I don't want to tell the IRS, that's small thinking. How are you going to scale your business if you're thinking that small? You got to treat your business as a big business. And yes, there are fees with credit cards. There are fees with ACH. So what you do is you just add it to the top. So if it was $100 for your services, you charge $104 to recover the credit card fees. But don't not take credit cards because you're afraid of that 4%. All right. Also, anybody using Zelle, I'm not a CPA and not an accountant, but so talk to your accountant. But right now, a lot of people are, let's just say I do a business with you. What they're doing is they're Zelling you the money. Right now, IRS doesn't know. Starting January of 2023, talk to your CPA. I'm not a CPA. Anything over $600, the bank is going to report it to the IRS. So if you think you were smart and like, hey, I'm a beautician, I'm a hair barber, I'm gonna just have them Zelle it, right? Now you make you make a lot of money, but you made $5,000 via Zelle. You don't report it. Next year, it's time to do taxes. Zelle is gonna say, Roderick, 5,000 in sales, but when you do your taxes, you're putting less than, you're not accounting for it. Now you have the IRS knocking on your door. You don't want that, right? How are you going to scale your business being small-minded like that? So just be careful that Zelle, the IRS finally got it, that the last law that they just passed, that was included. So now Zelle and Venmo and PayPal, all of that, they're reporting to the IRS. So the IRS is going to know that you're making side money. So we talked about ACH, we talked about collection payments. You are not a bank. Don't become a bank, because if your accounts receivable, you have money and people owe you 60, 90 days, how are you going to run your business? Especially if you're not even charging interest. So cash flow is not bragging rights. It's financial freedom. Cash flow is king. Make sure nobody owes you money. Collect when you're done. Next, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence. Nicole, have you heard of artificial intelligence?
I have.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
What do you know about it?
Well,
You might as well just hold the mic.
when I go to Checkers,
Mhm.
they're the ones that's taking your orders now.
Yes,
When you call the bank or AT&T, all these places,
mhm.
they're telling you that they're smart enough to answer your questions.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
let me help you.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to figure out, would that be a good idea for me? Because
Absolutely.
I'm having a hard time with customer service.
Absolutely.
So you see me, I have 3 phones
Uh-huh.
and I have one at the shop. Could you
Oh.
imagine if all 3 of them ringing at the same time?
Right. And many times it's basic questions.
Yes.
What time are you closing?
Yes.
How much is it for a dozen roses?
What's your address?
What's your
What's your
address?
email address?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
with artificial intelligence, you can program it, and it's dirt. I mean, I'm not saying dirt cheap, it's relative, but it's very inexpensive than a $15 an hour employee just sitting there on their phone, just answering, well, on their personal phone, watching TikTok videos, and then now answering the phone only when it rings.
Yes.
So take advantage of artificial intelligence. Another,
I have a question.
yeah, absolutely.
How would I be able to take advantage? Like, where would I go to get that software or that program?
Sure. So offline, I can give you several websites. and I'll
Okay.
give you my card.
Okay.
There's several websites, and we're going to be talking about phones, but you just incorporate all of that.
Okay.
But we'll be talking about that. But the specific ones, I'll give you a few examples.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. It's the next
Yes.
big thing. So another thing that you can use artificial intelligence is for. Do you have a store?
I do.
Okay, so a brick and mortar store.
Yes.
So with artificial intelligence, you can even put trackers in your store, so you can know the peak time of when people come in your store, when they call your store, and then that way you can know if you should be like, should I have 2 people in my store on Wednesdays, or should I have like nobody on my store Fridays at 3 o'clock because nobody ever comes in, and I should start closing earlier. So it gives you all of that information. It makes predictions, which is self-explanatory to what I just said. Social media posts. So we were talking about social media, Nicole, and when you make a beautiful bouquet, do you take a picture of it?
I do.
All right, and you're posting it online?
I am.
Every time?
Not every time.
You post once a day?
No.
All right, perfect. You fell into my trap.
I know.
With artificial intelligence, you can, because sometimes it can be like, oh my gosh, am I gonna just write another beautiful bouquet made by Nicole?
Mhm.
With artificial intelligence, you can actually just put in 3 keywords, beautiful flowers, red. AI will make that into 2 sentences for you, hashtags on Instagram, whatever you want. And that
Wow.
service is like $30 a month.
Wow.
And it's not going to repeat it. So it's going to know that it already told you that. So think of like an English professor writing, you giving it 3 words, and now they're ghostwriting it for you. And then with the same $30 a month, you can now schedule it. So let's just say last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you took different bouquets. You asked the customer, because you always want to, we're going to be talking about following up with the customer. You said to the customer, hey, look, when you place this in your shop or wherever you're using these flowers for, would you mind taking a picture for me? And now you get that picture back, you give it to AI, AI makes it 3 sentences, push the hashtags, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all of those websites, and then it can schedule it for you. It's scheduled on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Different times, it's gonna say, look, most of your people that like your page, they like it at Thursday at 3 o'clock, but on Friday, you should do it in the morning because husbands are trying to do something special for their wives. And now that's why you should look in the morning, because men look at Facebook ads more in the morning than in the afternoon. It knows all of that. And that just saves you a social media person that's gonna charge you $1,000. That's what AI does for you. Chat box, we kind of talked about that already. How many times are customers calling you, asking for the same repetitive questions? With chat boxes, you can make it that when they go to your Facebook page, when they call you, you already know what questions they're asking. You tell the chat box, if someone says, what time do you close? The answer is 8 p.m. If someone says, you know, are you open on Sundays? You can say from 8 to 1 or by request only, all of those type of things. And Nicole, you said you have 3 phones. Why?
Each one is a different line for, so I have 2 flower shops.
Mhm.
One is Anointed Flowers, one is Miami Flowers.
Mhm.
One is landline, one is texting, because customers like to text now more than they like to call.
Okay, I'm gonna save you money by the end of this thing.
Okay,
With
that's
chat
what's up.
box, same thing with text messaging. You can make it where someone texts you, and I don't know if you've ever had it where you're texting something, well, I'm saying something, I'm giving you, it's AI, it's not somebody, but you think you're texting somebody, and before you know it, like, man, this is an automated message.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes it is annoying, but most of the time, it's actually what the customer just needed. And then you can always say, speak to a live person. So if someone is texting you, what time do you open tomorrow morning? And the AI sees that you're asking that, we open at 8 a.m. Anything else I can help you with? Are you a first-time customer? Oh, first-time customer, click here, give me your email address, phone number, and I'll give you 5% on your next order. You can't be heard if you're not communicating.
That's right.
Also, Alexa, Google, Siri for business. One of the things that I use to be able to scale my business is I have an iPhone, I take advantage of Siri. When I'm driving to a job site, there's a third-party application that you can do, and it's gonna read your emails. So while you're driving, you're not looking at your phone, because you know how sometimes we look at our phones when we're driving, but you put it on your lap or on the side, and you say, Siri, read me my emails. It's reading you your emails. And then maybe it's gonna say, what time are you open tomorrow? Then you're gonna reply, Siri, reply back, hi, I'm open tomorrow at 8 a.m. Send a message. Boom. That just saved you 3 minutes when you pulled over to answer that email, and it's more immediate. And you can use for your business, depending on your industry, Alexa, Google, Siri for business. They actually have business products for that. And it's very similar to when you're doing like a text message. Siri, tell me to wake up tomorrow, or whatever it is. Siri, call this person. It's the same technology. So, do you know what AR is? Augmented reality.
No.
All right, Peterson, what's augmented reality?
Augmented reality is the introduction of things like the metaverse and everything like that, everything that's like virtually next to you, but not actually next to you.
Yep, exactly. Thank you so much for that. So again, my Zoom people, you want to go ahead and raise your hand for any questions. We're talking about scaling your business for 2023 using technology. So let's talk about, we're gonna pick on you again, Nicole, and how you can use AR. So, a customer, give me your typical customer. Who's your, don't tell me the name, but who's your biggest customer?
Funeral homes.
Bruner Home, okay. And when you go to a, when you're consulting with a funeral home, are you consulting with the actual person, the family, or the actual director of the funeral home?
It varies. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's just the owner and sometimes it's the family.
All right.
It varies.
So now just imagine I'm gonna grab my phone here. And the family says, Nicole, you know, grandma, she really loved red flowers. And I want you to come because we're gonna have a big order. It's gonna be worth your time. And we really want to make sure this funeral home is how grandma wanted it. Now, imagine you could now have 10 different types of flowers that are red, right? And now you can tell the family, I want you to look at this tablet and you can choose, tell me 2 types of flowers, roses and
Lilies.
lilies. Family member, you can look here on this big tablet and just put your phone like this. And this is how it's gonna look with red roses. Or let me change it for you. And now, this is how it's gonna look with red lilies. Same concept, right? Look at this pool here. This is a construction site. And when you put the tablet over the construction site, hey, I wanted a round pool. You know what? Maybe I want a square pool. You can do that with AR. And it's very, very inexpensive, relatively speaking. Same thing. Joe, you mentioned that you do construction. Same thing. Oh, you know what? I want my house blue. I want my house white. But how is it gonna look if I have the chair here with the same tablet, with the same customer's phone? You can go ahead and do the drawings, and then you're gonna put it over and it's gonna show how it would look with blue. Okay, you want baby blue? No problem. Baby blue. And then from there, you as the painter, you can then connect it with Sherwin-Williams and do the order. It's already gonna know how much buckets of paint you're gonna need, and it's gonna take a lot of different things from you, right?
Wow.
Hi, your name, I'm sorry. I'm sorry? Evel. Nice to meet you. My name is Andre. We're talking about scaling your business with technology. And I would like you to give me your 30-second elevator pitch. What do you mean? You're here for business. What type of work do you do? What type of work do you do?
The thing is, like,
No, go ahead.
dabble in several businesses.
Just your favorite one. Mhm.
Oh, I teach CPR.
CPR.
Mhm.
So how do you know that my friend Agnes from Home Health Care, shout out to Agnes, is not looking for someone to do CPR? And this morning when I was talking to her, maybe she told me that, and now I met you and now I can connect you. So go ahead and give me a 20-second elevator pitch about what you do with CPR. Because if you don't speak, how are you gonna get new business and how are you gonna scale your business?
Wow. Well, I am in a life-saving business,
Mhm.
and I think it's very important that, especially now, we don't realize how much that learning these basic skills can definitely enhance and help with life,
Mhm.
can save a life. So I think it's super important not only for adults but also children to learn CPR and know the signs of someone who's basically in distress and what method they can use to help revive or resuscitate or hold on to life until emergency
Awesome,
comes.
awesome. And how can people reach you? Like, are you on Facebook? Do you have a website?
At this time, no, because I'm restructuring again. But you can definitely reach me at 786-356-3657. Thank you.
You know, after 3 seconds, you became my numbers, right? You got it. Just a funny story. In my high school, there was this girl that I liked, and I never had the guts to talk to her. And she never had the guts to talk to me. We both graduated high school, never talking to each other from 9th grade to 12th grade. And in the yearbook, we were voted the shyest kids in school. So, funny story. All right, going back to AR. I'm sure ladies, Nicole, I'm sorry, Evel, have you ever been to your beauty salon and you say, what color is your hair right now? Honey blonde. and you went to your hairstylist and you told her, you know, Michelle, I don't know if I want honey blonde. I don't know if I want blonde. I don't know if I want gold. Has your hairstylist ever given you, or have you ever seen an app? Okay, yep, sure. Have you ever seen the app where you can now basically go from this style to that style to that style?
Yes, but it weren't the gaming.
Gaming, okay, awesome. Yeah, exactly, okay. But there are, don't worry, I won't pick on you too much. I'm doing a good job here, so. But there are apps, so if you are on Zoom and you have a hairstyling business, I gotta check the time to make sure. Okay, oh, I gotta wrap up. All right, so if you're in the hairstyling business, how much more business will you make? Giving your clients options of what type of hairstyle that you can have, right? So think big, there's no reason to think small. So next, we're going to talk about customer relation, CRM, customer relation management system. Beginning to end, you want to be sure that when a client contacts you, that you have their information. So Nicole, right? Yeah. If someone calls you right now and it's a funeral home, are you asking them for their name, phone number, and how they heard about you? Awesome. All right. So then when you have that, where are you putting that in? In my database. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, perfect. And is it like an Excel spreadsheet or is it an actual database? Awesome. Okay, awesome. So that's great. You want to have everything inside this database because maybe they call you and the time is just not right. Maybe it's a price issue. Maybe they found a competitor, whatever the case is. But now you put them into your database and later on, you can send them a text message, an email, some type of advertisement to them. Yes, of course.
So we have Esther who is asking, I want to know if he has anyone he knows who can help me manage my active campaign CRM tool. It's easy to use, but I just don't have the time.
Okay, so I'm going to, and the person's name?
Esther.
Esther. Okay, Esther. I'm going to answer that question when we get to outsourcing. So, and how are we on time? I want to respect the time. We're good? Okay, cool. So, we talked about CRM. You want to be able to capture people's information because later on you want to be able to email them, text them, etc. Thank you surveys. When after someone purchases from you, do you send them thank you surveys or how was our service?
No, I haven't started it yet.
Okay, awesome.
But I will. But
Okay.
I do follow up with a phone call.
Awesome. Tell me your second business.
Well, actually, we do have a staffing agency. It's called Frontline Angels Staffing for nurses, CNAs, and LPN as well.
Okay.
At this time, we are, again, restructuring.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. I just need to know how I can pick on you. So thank you, survey. So after a client, home health agency, so after someone's mother is taken care of and now the person goes home, do you send anything like how was the visit or anything like that? Okay.
We mainly work with facilities and hospitals at this time. We don't do home
Individual.
health
Okay.
visits.
Okay, but just take the same concept where you can do surveys once a month to the director, just to make sure that everything's good. Because the last thing you want to do is like in our business, for example, after every transaction, we send an email out. And if they're not happy with the service, they're going to let us know. And what you don't want to do is wait where the contract is up for renewal or anything where they just say, hey, I'm sorry, it's not working out. And then from there, that's when you realize that there was a problem because they never got to you. All right, Nicole, do you ever get clients that says, I want to spend X amount of dollars, but can you go a little cheaper for me, please?
Yes, I do.
And what do you do?
I ask them what is it that I can help you with? Like, what is it that you want?
Okay,
And I let them describe to me what it is that they want. And like, say, for instance, they say, my budget is $200.
Mhm.
So I'm be like, okay, yep, I can help you with that. But it's going to be a delivery fee and taxes added to it.
Mhm.
And then majority of the time they'll say, yeah, very few say, no, I just needed to be simple $200.
Mhm.
And I do it for them. But to make it, to make them come back, I still give them, I go above and beyond extra.
Mhm.
And then I send them the picture and I let them know, even though your budget was $200, I still make it look worth $250 or
Okay,
something like that.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Buy flowers from you. That's good. So in addition to that, what I would like you to do next time,
Mhm.
when you have enough margin and you're going to be giving the discount, regardless, hey, I'm gonna give you this discount, but I need something in return. I need you to go on my Google page, my Facebook page, and I need you to leave me reviews. I need you to go.
I
Awesome.
forgot to leave that out, but
Awesome.
I do tell them
Awesome.
to go give me reviews. I do.
All right. Talking about discounts, don't leave money on the table. We all got to eat. So I know sometimes, things like that, but generally speaking, personally, I don't like to give discounts, but hey, sometimes we got to do it to close the deal. Another thing is suggestive surveys, which we kind of talked about, and that's basically follow-ups with your customers. How's everything going? Emails and things like that. Just always be in communication with your client. Retention is the game. Have you ever heard that it's harder to get a client than to keep it? So it's easier if you have that client to keep it and make them happy. I think it's like a ratio of 1 to 5. So for every customer that you basically you keep, I guess, if that customer were to be let go, it's going to take you like 5 times more to get a new customer, something like that. But that's basically what this quote is saying. All right, we're going to talk about telephone systems. Oh, don't worry, get into you though. So Nicole, you mentioned that you had 3 different telephone systems. How much are you paying roughly?
Altogether, about maybe $300.
For 3 phones?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So with telephone systems, there's something called voice over IP. And with voice over IP, it's internet phone. It's an internet phone. So I understand you have a cell phone, but one thing that you can do is you can get a voice over IP system where you have one phone. It puts an app. Like, have you ever heard of Google Voice? Yeah. That's like a popular one, but and it's good. Google's Google, right? But there's other ones that have more features, etc. But Google's one of them. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to have an internet phone. So as long as you have Wi-Fi or just a regular cell phone service, the line is only $20 a month. So just imagine you have this one phone here, and now you get that Google Voice, and you can put 2 extra lines on. It's an app, right? And then the cool thing with that is, let's just say you have an employee, and instead of saying, here, Tasha, here's the phone. Oh, I got to come back and get the phone because you're going on vacation. It's an app. They put it on their phone. When they don't need the phone calls because they're off, they just turn off the app. They just close the app. And now you can be able to scale, because we're always talking about scaling. Yes. Oh, okay, all right, cool. Another thing too with the Google, with the voice over IP is you can actually listen to the calls, because you can have an option to record it. So you can now do quality control with the call. You can see how long they were on the calls. So I'm using Tasha, just making up a name, but if you have employee X now on the call, but after you've hired them, you realize that your sales are not the same because you're using AI and it's telling you that your numbers have gone down since you hired this employee. Then what you can do? You can go back, listen to the calls and be like, man, this girl sucks. She's not upselling. She's not doing anything, right? There you go. So now you tie it to your CRM, because now the funeral director call, you can now tie that phone call, that recording, to the CRM. So now if you have a new employee and you want to kind of like, hey, this is the style of Mr. Henry when he calls, let's listen to a few of his phone calls. You can tie it to your CRM. And the cool thing now is, let's just say now, how many customers do you have roughly?
Maybe 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000 customers. All right, that's good. I'm glad you said that. Because if you had you have a lot of clients, and I know a lot of them are sometimes like one-offs, and then you have people that are reoccurring. But let's just say Mr. Henry is your reoccurring customer, and then he doesn't call you for 3 months. But because you have 5,000 customers and you're running around and things like that, can you hear me? Let's pause.
Just
Okay, all right. We had a little audio issue, so okay, I'm gonna hold the mic. All right, cool. So I got two things I'm holding. So because we're talking, just to reiterate what was happening. Still good? Awesome. So because you're running around and taking care of everybody else, Mr. Henry wasn't being taken care of. He goes find somebody else. With the AI, it can tell you, hey, Mr. Henry used to order every week. He hasn't called you in 3 months. You may want to do a follow-up just to make sure everything is good, and it'll pop up on your CRM. So that's why it's important to do an integration with all your technology, because if your phone system isn't talking with your CRM, which isn't talking with your social media, which isn't talking with all the other stuff, then it's not going to work. So let's just say you gave, oh, we're going to go back to you. So let's just say you had a beautiful conversation with a client, and it's a nursing home. And now they said, okay, thank you so much. Send us the proposal. Let us know how you're going to now charge for this. How do you send a proposal?
Well,
Do
two
you-
ways, like we can either deliver it
Mhm.
in person or we can definitely scan it
Mhm.
and send it over.
Okay, you just like email it?
Correct.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. So and a suggestion with tying all of this in is that always make sure you also do like a phone call as well, because I've gotten so many times where people send me proposals, and all I do is look at the bottom line, which is the number. How much is it going to cost? And the whole value goes away. So one thing, as we're just talking about telephone system, is always just be sure that you don't just send out emails and things like that. I know you'd be calling people, and you, like you said, you go to people, which is good. I stopped going to people. I'll be talking about that. You can't be heard if you're not communicating. So we're now going to talk about some tech tools. I have not talked about computers. I have not talked about cybersecurity, because really scaling your business, you can use a Mac, you can use a Windows, it doesn't matter. We're talking about tools and things outside of that. So online meetings. Take advantage of Zoom, take advantage of Teams. This 2 days ago, I had a motel call us because they wanted Wi-Fi throughout their property. I normally would have drove from my home office all the way to the client. They usually got to park in the garage. You got to do the whole loop thing, park on the 7th floor, and then now go to them, wait for 5 minutes for them to come out, have a meeting, to then realize it wasn't a good fit. Now I just do Zooms. Hey, I want to do a virtual coffee with you. I want to do a first time appointment with you, and save so much time, because now instead of doing an hour to get there, 20 minutes to realize I'm wasting my time here, and an hour to get back, I was able in a 10-minute Zoom call, be able to just tell the customer, you know what, this is not a good fit. Peterson, go ahead.
Would you say that I feel like you're using Zoom probably the proper way? So since, well, as we all transition back from virtual to, I guess, something of a hybrid format, I would say, would you call that the best way of going about doing things now is actually incorporating Zoom into your planning instead of, going face to face in a lot of cases?
You're able to scale way bigger. There are some stuff that it's like, if you had a contract and a nursing home is calling you and they want to meet with you, yeah, hey, I'm going to meet with you because this is, but at the same time, if you're in a business where a customer wants to come to your shop and talk to you, and now you got to, maybe you're like on the other side, hey, can we just do a Zoom? I can share my screen and show you my catalog, my digital catalog. How much time are you saving? So it just really depends on the situation. And for me, I kind of Googled the motel, and it wasn't like the most high-end motel. And I was like, I don't think these people are going to be able to afford my prices. So when I was able to like just break the ice with them and see where their mindset was, I was immediately able to do it. But if it was the Ritz-Carlton saying, hey, we need Wi-Fi, I'm putting on my suit and I'm going over there and I'm doing the whole 1 hour drive, parking on the 7th floor, going down, waiting 20 minutes and doing that. So it just depends. Of course. Multiple monitors. How many monitors do you have in your office? Like your computer, how many monitors do you have?
For my personal office, 2.
2.
Yeah.
Awesome. How many monitors do you have? 4. Awesome. All right. The point of that is work with 2 monitors. Your
Absolutely.
statistics show that you're 37% more productive when you're working with 2 monitors. So I'm not hearing from I was going to say, I haven't heard from my Zoom people.
They are here. So Yup. From Esther, no need to waste your time, money, and gas. Zoom helps me record how to how the consultation goes, so I improve on my sales process. I use Calendly
Mhm.
to help me schedule it and send reminders, so it reduces no shows. One right now.
Awesome. That's actually, that's, I don't know if they saw my slide yet, but that's actually my next point, using Calendly. How many times have you been in a situation where someone says, hey, I want to meet with you via email, right? They're saying, I want to have an appointment with you over the phone, Zoom or something. Can you do Friday at 2:00? No, I can't do Friday. How's Monday? No, I can't do Monday. Have you heard of Calendly or booking? Yes? Yes? Okay. Are you just saying yes? Okay. Google, okay, Google Calendar. Okay, perfect. So now you share your calendar with someone and then they can pick a time and a date that's convenient for them, right? Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Yes. So for those of you that are not using what's mentioned in Zoom or here in person, it's essentially an efficient way to be able to collaborate with someone else trying to book with you and allowing them to pick a time. And when you book with your calendar, you can put time to work not on or not in your business, but on your business, because that's so important. So a lot of times, because we're like, entrepreneurs and we're getting pulled left and right, sometimes you may have said, you know what, I'm going to concentrate on my 2023 business goals. But then what happens? A customer calls and then takes your time away from that. But when you book your time, you know that, all right, 9 and 11, I'm doing this. Unless there's a fire, I'm doing this. So it's very important to use a calendar. Last thing on that, tech tools, is unsubscribe. There's tools out there for free, and there's some that you pay like $50 a year that will unsubscribe all of these junk emails that's coming into it. If it has, you can like filter it, and you can basically say, if this email comes in my inbox, it automatically unsubscribes. So just a tool there. So work harder, not smarter. All right, outsourcing. So someone on Zoom mentioned something. Can you repeat the question for me that they had asked? So I'll give you a quick story while we get that up. My son, who at the time was about 12 years old, he was struggling a lot in math. And I went to the teacher and I told the teacher, like, hey, what can we do about this? And she said, look, he's going to need outside tutoring. You can hire one of the math teachers here at the school, but it's going to cost $35 an hour. And he's so behind, he's going to need 4 hours a week. So do the math, that's like $600. And this is a private school. So I'm already paying a lot of money. In addition to that, they wanted another $500–600. So I remember when I was a kid, I would go to the library and the library would actually do free tutoring. So I went to the library and they said, look, we don't do tutoring anymore. We don't have that free service, but that group over there, they offer tutoring, go talk to them. They wanted 30 hours. I was like, man, I can't win, right? So I remember for my business, I went to a website called Upwork. If you guys have ever heard of Upwork, yep, I got a lot of hands there. Put some hands on the Zoom, let me know. And this logo that I made 12 years ago when I was basically kicked out of the other company, they wanted $250 to do a logo here in the US. Now I'm all pro US, USA, everything like that, but I just didn't have $250 to do a logo. So I said, let me see if Upwork has a thing where I can find a cheaper tutor. So I went on Upwork, I put tutoring, and I'm seeing all of these math people. And it was $8. It was overseas, Philippines, India, El Salvador. My son went from an F to an A in 2 months. And for the last 4 years, we have used Leah from the Philippines, and it's only costing me about $150 a month. And I'm not ripping anybody off. She's happy because in her country, she has a master's degree in engineering. She was only making $4 an hour there. And now with her business doing tutoring, she's charging $8 and she's happy. So it's not ripping anybody off, but think about one of these companies. If you're looking for graphics, if you're looking for someone in websites, again, I know we probably have some people that are kind of mad because they do websites and they're here in the US. I get it. Yes, but at the moment, if someone can only afford what they can afford and they need the service done, then take a look at these websites, Upwork. You got to be able to scale your business. And sometimes if you don't have the money, you got to do what you got to do. Another thing that we do is, another story, in our business, we set up laptops for clients. And after we set it up in our office, we were then paying our technician, who's about, with the burden rate of their hourly rate, they're making about $30 an hour. So I was paying my technician to set up the computer, which was cool, but then he had to drive all the way to downtown Miami, do the whole park on the 7th floor on the garage, go back downstairs, then go back upstairs to the client's office on the 15th floor. Here you go, sir. Here's your printer. Then after that, leave, go down on the garage, go back to the office. So I just paid him $60 for 2 hours to set up a computer plus mileage. So what do I do now? Uber delivery. For $25, I called Uber delivery. He goes downstairs, gives the Uber guy the laptop. When the guy's 2 minutes away from the client, he calls the client, hey, I'm 2 minutes away, meet me on the curb. Here you go. Client goes upstairs, he sets it up, and that's it. Big difference. So for you, if you have, I know sometimes it's bases and it's all about presentation, but if there are opportunities where it's like, all right, nobody can mess this up. It's packaged correctly. All I need is somebody here. Don't stress yourself. If you can do $25 to pay someone, an Uber delivery person, and he's going to be happy to make that delivery, and now you can focus on your business and continue charging and doing what you do that. Do you do that already? I bet you
All
already
the
do.
time.
Awesome. All right. I already knew that. All right. Awesome. Awesome. And another thing too is collaborate. I know, for example, with home health agency, there could be some times where you have a shortfall and you have a friend, and maybe you call that friend who has the same industry and says, hey, I need a couple of girls for the weekend. My main person called in sick. Can you help me? And things like that. Or however it works. I know it's
Yes.
regulated, but the point is collaborate. And even in order to scale, you may not have the employees, but you definitely have contractors to be able to help you with that situation. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little secret here. I'm gonna pull back the curtain. When you call my office, I have someone from El Salvador answering the phones.
Yes.
From Upwork, right? Again, I'm pro-US, but I have my margins I have to make. My customers are wanting a competitive price, and I have to do what I have to do. I was able to find someone for $1,000 a month, and he's happy. I'm telling you, the guy is ecstatic. He was able to have his wife not be able to work, take care of their kids. Now she's a stay-at-home mom. And for $1,000, I'm able to have someone overseas be able to say, thank you for calling ArcSolver Cybersecurity. How can I help you? Oh, okay, your printer's not working? Okay, someone will be calling you shortly. Here in the US, that would have cost me $15 to $18 an hour plus benefits plus headaches. I'm pro-US, but I'm doing what I have to do to make sure, because it's either I eat or someone else eat, and I'm going to make sure I eat. Yes, sir, Peterson.
Yeah. So would you say that the best solution for anyone who's starting a business in at least 2022 is to scale up your business no matter what way possible, legally, of course?
Yeah. Question again?
So you're saying no matter what the case, at least for a business and being starting in 2022, you suggest that they upscale their business in any profitable way possible.
Yeah.
Legally, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Including Upwork or any other network that provides a nice, affordable solution.
Yeah, of course. And there's military veterans things that you can also do. You have stay-at-home moms or moms that basically drop off the kids at 8, but they only need like an 8 to 3 type of job, and you can do that too. Look at McDonald's. When you go to McDonald's and you're placing an order, a lot of times you're not placing an order with the person in the store. You're placing an order in a call center somewhere in Kentucky where they can pay them only $12 an hour versus the $15, $16 an hour here in Miami. So the big companies are doing that. When you call Dell technical support, you're getting someone in India, right? Think of all, you calling Macy's, you're getting people in El Salvador. They're doing it. T-Mobile, you're getting someone in the Philippines. I just got a new iPhone and I had to call someone in the Philippines. I automatically recognize her voice because she sounds just like my son's tutor. Yes, Peterson. Oh, yes.
The question that you wanted me to repeat, she asked, I want to know if he has anyone he knows who can help me manage my active campaign CRM tool.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was the question.
That was the question.
So what you would now do, so basically someone's saying, I have Active Campaign, which is a kind of like a way you can send out newsletters. It's like a CRM. So what you would do, whoever's asking that question, is you would go on Upwork. And by the way, Upwork is not only overseas. So again, if you wanted to hire someone in the US to answer your phone calls for, whatever, you can go to Upwork as well and get someone in the US. But you can put in the keyword active campaign. And if active campaign is not showing up, then maybe you can just put Salesforce or something, because you can always, there's 10,000 different CRM tools, but the point is you want someone with that experience. They just have to train them a little on that active campaign, and then they'll be set. Cool. All right, so we're going to be wrapping up. If we have any questions, feel free to ask. So now we have the worker shortage, right? So we have people wanting to get paid $15, $18 an hour, which, okay, that's well deserved. But we're small businesses. We're trying to scale up. We're trying to eat first because we're the business owner. So we talked about using automation already. Look at what Walmart is doing. How is Walmart using automation? Peterson?
Automated checkout.
Automated checkout, right? And then now in some Walmarts, what would happen? Can I get some water, please? What would happen before? Let's just say, for example, there's Kellogg's cornflakes, right? And let's just say there's only like 7 left in the shelf. What would be before is the Walmart employee would go, oh, there's only 7 Kellogg's cornflakes. Let me go to the back, get the 7, fill it up. Thank you. Get the 7 and fill it up. Now what Walmart has said is, we're going to get a robot when the store's closed, or, the store's still open, but like midnight when no customers, and the robot is going to go and see, oh, there's only 7 Kellogg's boxes. Okay, now let's tell John, the associate that works at Walmart, to go in the back one time, because he's going to be bringing the Kellogg's box and Cheerios box and everything, and then he's going to now fill it up, right? Publix, where shopping is a pleasure, is now doing self-checkout lanes. Look at this. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 checkout lanes, and the one guy here to help you. You are now shopping at the most comfortable place. Whole Foods has it. You're paying premium dollars, and they're having you now bag your stuff. Everybody is doing it. So use the technology, outsource. I was going to say, well, I'm not going to say that. Get rid of as much humans as you can. Oh, it's a recording. But hey, we're trying to scale our business. And if you need to grow your business, use the technology to get rid of as much humans as you can. I said it. I said it. My technician, Roa, and by the way, I use automation too in my business. We used to have someone go, well, I'm out of time, so let me not go there. That's a rabbit hole. So my technician, Roa, she lives in downtown Miami, and she took a picture of this. This is a food delivery service. So basically a restaurant put, whatever it is inside this device. And now it's going on the sidewalk in downtown Miami. She lives like on 20th and Biscaynish. And this is what she took a picture of. It's going to the person's house. And the person is going downstairs because it's usually high rises there. And then they're opening it and taking their food, and that robot goes there. That just saved, what, the $20 that you're going to have to, pay someone to go there? It's a worker shortage. Hey, if they don't want to work, you got to use automation. Food trucks, online kiosks. That's something else. You ever seen like at a food truck and you got like 15 people waiting in line? Why don't they just put a little kiosk there so that you can order your food? So instead of having one person, what would you like to order? Now you can have 2 people in the back doing the food, and you just do a kiosk, right? When you go to Taco Bell, they took up all of their counters and just put a kiosk there. So same thing for you. I know yours is more a little custom, but maybe, hey, why have an order taker? Because that's what they are, an order taker, when you can have something simple. So you have 5 people in line. Hey, is anybody just looking for like simple flowers, just the roses and stuff? Oh, you just want to do 12 roses? Go and grab your roses, go to that kiosk, check yourself out, put your email address and phone number, because I will be texting you and emailing you to make sure that everything was good. And now you just saved a person. Construction as well. There's even now in Virginia where instead of having a laborer go and basically build a house. It's a tool, like a robot, if you want to call it. And the robot is like taking the concrete and putting it there and then putting the cement. Instead of paying a $25 an hour union person, now they're having a robot do it. So the quote is, at a time when people are leaving their jobs at a higher rate than ever before, it is increasingly important to make the people in your organization valued. So as I talked about, making sure that you're taking care of your people or getting rid of people, you want to make sure you're taking care of the people that you have as well. So make sure that your employees are valued. That is all I have for my presentation about scaling up. My name is Reginald Andre. My company is Arc Solvers. We do cybersecurity and IT services. And if you ever need any help with your IT, please don't hesitate to call me. But the most important thing I want you to get from this is, notice, again, I did not talk about, should you have a computer? So what type of memory do you have? You know, what type of hard drive space do you have? The technology right now to scale your business is not about that. It's about the tools that are out there to make sure that you can be as profitable as you can in your business. Thank you. Any questions before we adjourn?
Yeah, need your card, but I miss using animation. What was that about?
Automation?
Automation.
No, I don't remember. Let's see. So the question is, what was I speaking about automation?
Mm-hmm. Because I just seen it up there, but I don't recall you speaking about it.
What part was that?
It
Oh.
was towards the end. It
Oh,
was the
the
first
front?
line, but towards the end.
Okay, I'll have to get back to you on that. I don't remember.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Not a problem.
So you're having some people reacting on the chat. Great job, Andre. Great presentation. Thank you for your presentation. I don't know if anybody has questions on the Zoom. You can write down your questions. And here, does anybody else has questions?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can talk
Yeah,
about
we'll
automation.
Just talking about like the Walmart story and things like that. That's probably what it was. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I know we were supposed to leave around 7:15 and it's 7:20. So thank you so much for your time today.
And you have Mr. Bunny, who is a board member on behalf of the board. He said, great job,
Oh,
Andre.
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We thank everyone who was able to join us today for this presentation. We are very happy. We learned a lot. And we are waiting for you guys for our next presentation. We're going to have a presentation on December 8th about life insurance. So please join us. And also on the 15th, we will have another presentation on tax. Follow us on our social media, Scale Up 305 on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And we cannot wait to see you at our next presentation. Thank you so much for being with us. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good night.